It's always a pleasure to have him here. Please give a warm Def Poetry welcome to Harlem's own Mr. Sekou, Sundiata.
A dream for Amman, my grandson. I'm talking to a boy who is trying to master the art of staying awake, balancing the hard facts of daily living against a smooth, cloudless mind in the making. I can tell by the way he suddenly laughs in his sleep and signifies his descent into the kingdom of myth, where the world is forming behind his eyes. He points at me and calls me bird, snow, rain. I tell him I heard that half the species of birds in America migrate to the city, that the egrets and ibises favor the water around Rikers Island, that the woodcocks are knocking boots in the Bronx. It's a whole way of life. I try to be up front with the boy, so I admit that I never saw the birds coming. Aside from a few jittery sparrows, I always thought the pigeon should be our official bird, for the way it shits on the good and the bad and the people sitting on the fence. Anyway, I say, the birds probably came here for the same reasons as his great-grandparents, for the nest and the work, for the food and the culture. When we go to the park, he will call out sponge for sky and make the sound of sucking wind backwards through a straw to say traffic. I will tell him what it was like when he was born. There were so many mornings we awoke to the blessed silence of snow falling on snow. And there were cold rains that rained on days when the snow couldn't make it, like that one faithful soprano that shows up over the Palisades and sits in for the whole galaxy when the moon's period is late and holding back. And now the drought has choked the grass back to dust, and we will have to save water this summer. Yet just below the dry dirt surface, the soil is still moist from winter. The garlic in backyard Brooklyn is growing well. There are reports that the Samara seeds have come to root. When he falls asleep in the stroller, I will put headphones over his ears and play Monk while he dozes, hoping he will dream in ascending intervals and practice his first steps, walking unfettered in the space of slumber. I will talk to him over the music. Listen, son, I can't tell one tree from another. I'm only telling you what I heard. I don't know how the winter snow and rain knew to go deep into the soil and drain out slowly because the following spring would be dry. And I don't know how those birds know exactly what to do. There is nothing in me to match that. But I do know this native tongue you speak, in which saying is believing. So I tell you now that the earth is made of matter, but the world is made of words. He points at me again and calls me blue.